Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into some of the earliest recorded teachings of the Buddha. We're going to trace a path that was laid out 2,500 years ago, a path that promises freedom from suffering. Okay, so where does this all begin? Well, our story doesn't start with a god or a prophet. It starts with a prince, a guy named Vipassi, who'd been totally sheltered from what life is really like. His journey, and ours really, kicks off the very first moment he comes face to face with the raw, unfiltered truth of existence. After leaving his palace, he sees a dead person for the first time, and it just completely floors him. He's hit by this one thought, this deep feeling of disillusionment that gets right to the heart of a basic human fear. If you're born, you're going to get old, you're going to get sick, and you're going to die. There's just no way around it. This whole experience boils down to one single, incredibly powerful question. And this isn't some philosophical game, It's a desperate search for an escape hatch. If this cycle of aging, sickness, and death is the basic rule of the game, is there any possible way to get out? That question, right there, that's the launch pad for everything that comes next. So how did the Buddha even begin to answer that question? Well, his approach was pretty unusual. He didn't offer some comforting story or a divine being to save the day. Nope. He acted more like a doctor. And what's the first thing a good doctor does? They make a clear, honest diagnosis of the problem. So he laid out his diagnosis and the treatment plan in 4 clear, logical steps. Now you have to understand, this was absolutely revolutionary at the time. He wasn't asking for blind faith. Instead, he presented a framework for you to investigate directly, something he called the 4 Noble Truths, a reality that he said anyone, and I mean anyone, could see and check out for themselves. First up, the diagnosis itself. He just stated it plainly. Suffering exists. In Pali, the word is dukkha. And it's not some kind of punishment or cosmic mistake. It's just a built-in feature of life as we know it. From the huge tragedies all the way down to that subtle, constant background hum of stress and dissatisfaction. Second, he points to the cause. See, this suffering isn't just random. It doesn't come from nowhere. It has a very specific origin, dukkha samadhiyo. And that origin, he said, is right inside our own minds. It's our relentless craving for things to be different, our habit of pushing away what we don't like, and just a basic misunderstanding of how things actually work. Third, and okay, this is the real game changer, the prognosis. He made this incredible claim. There can be an end to suffering. Dukkha nirodho. It's not a life sentence. A state of total freedom, of complete liberation, is actually possible. This is the truth of hope, right in the middle of the diagnosis. And finally, the prescription, the medicine. He laid out a practical, step-by-step path of training that anyone could actually follow to find that freedom for themselves. The Dukkha Nirodhagamini Patipada. See, it's not about just believing something. It's about doing the work. Okay, so what is this path, this training, really all about? Well, at its heart, it's about retraining your own mind. It's like taking your mind to the gym to develop the ability to see your own inner world with this incredible, stable clarity. And the main tool for this mental workout is meditation. But we're not just talking about relaxation here. This is about using meditation to sharpen your attention and awareness to a razor's edge, so you can finally see your own mind clearly, without all the usual distortion. The early texts, they talk about this key milestone in the training, a state of deep focus they call jhana. And in one of the later stages, the mind is said to have these 3 specific qualities you see here: a deep, unshakable balance, a constant mindfulness, and this sort of pleasant, calm feeling that fills the body. What's so cool about this is how it describes this peak mental state. All that initial excitement of meditation has settled down, and what's left is this incredibly powerful and balanced condition. Your mind is perfectly calm, but at the same time intensely alert. It's a state of just supreme mental clarity. And to explain this, they use this absolutely brilliant image. Think of a mountain lake, totally clear and still. If you're standing on the shore, you can see everything, right down to the bottom, every pebble, every shell. You can see the fish swimming around. The whole point of the training is to make your mind that still, so you can see its own inner workings with that same kind of perfect, unbiased clarity. So when someone develops this kind of clarity and then hears the teaching, the effect is profound. And the most fascinating thing is that people from totally different backgrounds, we're talking kings, priests, wanderers, they all described the moment they got it in the exact same way. So you've got King Ajatasattu. A seriously ruthless guy. He actually murdered his own father. But after he hears this teaching, he has this sudden flash of understanding, and he just blurts out, "Excellent, Lord, excellent." Then you have this highly respected scholar, a Brahmin named Pokarasati. He came specifically to debate the Buddha and prove him wrong. But when he understands, what does he say? The exact same thing. And get this, even Kassapa, a naked ascetic who lived a life of extreme self-denial, a world away from the king and the scholar, he has the exact same reaction. A king, a scholar, an ascetic, they all land in the exact same moment of clarity. The fact that they all used this same phrase tells you everything. This wasn't about converting to a new religion or joining a club. It was about something hidden being suddenly revealed. It was a universal aha moment. It was, as they all put it, like someone finally brought a lamp into a pitch-black room, letting them see what was there the whole time. But, okay, seeing the truth is one thing. Where does this path actually end up? What's the final destination? What happens to a person who follows this training all the way to the very end? Well, the texts use this amazing metaphor to explain it. An awakened person, a Tathagata, is like a bunch of mangoes hanging from a stalk. As long as the body, the stalk, is there, you can see them. But at death, when that stalk is cut, the mangoes are just gone. It's not that they went somewhere else. The very thing that allowed them to appear in the first place has been completely removed. But, and this is a huge but, the texts give a very serious warning. These deep teachings about freedom, they can be dangerous if you misunderstand them. They're compared to a venomous snake. If you grab it the wrong way, say by the tail, it's going to turn around and bite you. So grabbing this teaching the wrong way, for intellectual games, to boost your ego, or to win arguments, that just leads to more confusion and pain. But grasping it correctly, like catching that snake safely right behind the head, using it with wisdom for the one and only purpose of ending suffering, that leads to freedom. The teaching is just a tool. How you choose to hold it and the work of using it skillfully, well, that's up to you.